guys, it's Mel here from Thermomix. You might have guessed it, today I'm going to be giving you an introduction to Cookidoo. So today I'm going to show you how to search, how to save, how to plan and how to play your recipes on Cookidoo, which is our global recipe library. So it is triple tested recipes developed from all over the world and uploaded onto one site, and then you can access them on screen on your Wi-Fi connected TM6. So I'm going to show you how that all happens. Okay, so to access your Cookidoo on screen, all you need to do is swipe from left to right and it will bring up your Cookidoo search bar. Now this search bar is incredible. You can pop in an ingredient, the name of a recipe, you can put in a tag like afternoon tea or Christmas, you can even put in an accessory like blade cover. So you pop in what you want to search for here, activate your search. Now when you buy Thermomix, the search is defaulted to the country of origin that you bought your Thermomix in. So for me, I need to go into my filters on the top right corner here and just remove Australia so that I can access the worldwide recipes. So you just scroll right down to the bottom and remove Australia. And I prefer to just select English instead. In the next video, I'll show you how you can translate other recipes. But to start with, if you just select the languages that you can read, and then that will sort of broaden your search to get all the other countries, like the other English-speaking countries, but then refine it down to just the ones that you'll be able to read. You can also do this in your phone, in your app. Okay, so you have the Cookidoo app here. If you go into your profile, so go into your account details here, you can actually go into your preferences and you can save them so that you don't have to do this every time, which used to be the case. But they've just upgraded it so that we can save our preferences for deselecting Australia and selecting the languages that we'd like to access instead. So I recommend doing that. Okay, so once you've deselected Australia and selected English, I have currently 9,337 recipes that I can access. So you can hit the show recipe here. There's also the search bar at the top here. So this is, you can also incorporate your ingredient, whatever into that, and you can search right there on screen. Personally, I prefer to actually just sit down with my phone or my iPad on the comfy couch and just search and plan there. And for the next part of the video, I'm going to show you how to actually do that. It's a little bit easier than trying to do it on screen, and how to actually access and negotiate around the app. But once you have selected your recipe, let's just say we want to do the banana bread right here. It's going to bring it up on screen. Now you can jump straight into that and you can press start cooking. Okay, and then that will run you step by step all of your instructions how to actually do your recipe bread. It will engage your scales. So if you have chosen an English recipe, for example, it will measure in grams. But if you decided to select a recipe that was developed in the USA, then your scales will actually come up to measure in ounces. You don't need to know what an ounce is. All you need to do is just put the ingredients in until your numbers match, and then press next. And press your little arrow down the bottom here, and that will show you all of your ingredients and also your steps. So if, for example, you wanted to start halfway through a recipe, you can actually just click on that step and it will take you straight to that step. You can also see right down the bottom, utensils, and often different tips or variations of the recipe. Okay, so when you're using the search bar on your phone, let's just say you're gonna search for something with eggs. Press eggs, oh, egg tarts, that looks good. And you press cook today. Within just a matter of seconds, because my TM6 is Wi-Fi connected, I can go into my week. And there we have, the egg tarts is there ready to go. So you can open up your egg tarts and get into it. You can press start cooking. If you ever want to get back to that main screen, you can just press those three little dots there. And you can go back to recipe detail. You can continue on with the recipe, or there's a new button that they've also incorporated into the three little dots there, where you can actually open the preview, and that will show you the preview of the steps that are ready to come. Okay, so some of the other things you can do with those three little dots, you can activate your scales. So if you wanted to activate your scales independently of the recipe. You can also cancel the recipe from there as well. So let's just say you decided that you wanted to actually do this recipe tomorrow. So what you can do, you can just cancel the recipe. You can go into my weekly planner. Now there's more than 3 little dots. Whenever you see 3 little dots, it means there's more information embedded behind it. So from this view here, I'm currently on list view. So list view is from today going forward. If I want to move it to another day, I can just click here and I can plan that for another day. Or you can add it to a collection. So you can add it to desserts or treats or whatever, you can name your own folders. You can remove it altogether from your weekly planner and you can add it to your shopping list. If you wanted to actually look at something that you had planned yesterday and didn't get round to planning, you need to change your list view. So here, these 3 little lines in the top corner is from today going forward. If you want to actually access things that you made yesterday, you didn't get round to doing, then you need to change your calendar view so that you can actually go backwards and have a look back through the things that you had planned previously. So let's just say I didn't get round to doing my sourdough yesterday, so you can just click on that and then you can move it to another day and you can replan it if you wish, or you can just go straight into it and you can play it from there. Okay, so this is the Cookidoo website. So in Australia, it is cookidoo.com.au. You can sign up for free and do a 1-month free trial. Please remember the email and the password that you actually use to sign up for your Cookidoo account, because that's the same password and email that you'll use to sign in to your TM6 as well as the app as well. So remember what they are. When you purchase a TM6, it'll actually ask you for that email and password when you sign up, and then the free 6 months access that comes with the 6 will be then added to your account. If you, after that 6 months, if you would like to continue on with your subscription, then you actually need to access Cookidoo via the website and go into your account details and actually renew your membership there. You can't do that via the app. So now I'll let you see the app. So this is what it looks like down here. Okay, so this is the Cookidoo app. Remembering that you need to change your preferences. So you go into your account, so there should be a little icon at the top there. You can import your own picture. This is where you can have a look at your membership status. But in your preferences here, this is where you can update your filters, deselect Australia, and select English instead, or any other languages that you happen to speak. Then you can save those. At the top here as well, you can choose your cooking style. So whether you're a veggie cook, a time saver cook, or a chefy cook, or a classic cook, it gives you a little bit of an identity so that Cookidoo can actually search some recipes that you might be interested in and add them to you as suggestions. When you open your main screen here, it has handpicked for you. So anything that fits your chefy cook, anything of your identity that you select, there'll be some suggestions here for you. We've got the latest added recipes to Cookidoo. We've got a few information on what's to come. So I'm going to be doing my next video and telling you all about Cookidoo 3.0 and the ability to actually import your own recipes. If you want to be kept up to date with the Cookidoo 3.0 in my next video, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so it lets you know when the content has been uploaded. If there's anything that you'd like me to cover, feel free to add it into the comments. I'd love to be able to help you out. We also have recipes that are most cooked. We also have some new accessories that you can get. There's a new blade peeler coming out there, so if you want to see what that is all about, there's lots of little bits of information there, suggestions. If you're looking for some inspiration, you can just scroll down and you can see what collections have just been added recently. We have some new Christmas collections out. Then we have our recipe categories, the video that we watched right at the beginning. So now we want to discover. So that's brought up our recipe library. So there's currently 9,273 recipes that are in English. So you can go into your search bar here and you can search for your ingredient, whatever it is that you have a lot of that needs using up, which is great inspiration to work out what to do for dinner. So because we've actually taken the country off, we've really broadened our search. So now we're going to have a look at how we can then reduce our search so that it's not so overwhelming. So for example, if I was going to do a search for eggs, at least, you know, put an ingredient in, it gives you a starting point of what you want to search for, okay? Now you can you can search for recipes, or you can search for collections. So these are all the collections designed, you know, for eggs. On your phone, it actually has a little icon on the top there. So that icon there is a recipe card, or if you scroll down to collections, it's a little cookbook symbol. When you do a collection search, they're not actually listed as languages, so you need to go into your filters and you need to just select the countries that have English collections. So just scroll through. Switzerland has some English collections, so you can choose Switzerland, United Kingdom, United States. So you can have the English speaking countries there, and then you can do a collection search if you're looking for some inspiration around a particular topic, then you can do a collection search. Now let's just say you would like to save this whole collection to your Cookidoo account. Anything that you save, you're actually saving to the internal memory of your machine, of your TM6. So that's got a 16 gig built-in memory. So that whole collection there is now saved to the internal memory, which is accessible when you don't have access to Wi-Fi, which is great for when you're camping. So you can also do the same for your recipes. Let's say you wanted to save the banana bread. You can add, just press your little add button there. So you can bookmark it. So I would say if it's like one of your top 20, like most cooked, do it every week, or, you know, like your rice or your favourite banana bread. If that's something that you cook weekly, then I would suggest bookmarking it. Don't put too many bookmarks in, because then it kind of loses the purpose of actually having just a quick reference. You can add it to a collection, so you can have, you know, cakes or breads. You can name it yourself and you can add that recipe to that collection. You can add it to your week, so you can add it to your weekly planner from here. You can also add it to your shopping list. Now, when you add it to your weekly planner, it's actually only adding the address of that recipe from Cookidoo to your platform. So it does require some Wi-Fi to be able to bring that recipe up. So if you do want to keep it on the internal memory, then you'll need to actually put it in a folder or in a collection, not the My Week. Okay, so now that we've learnt how to broaden our search by taking Australia off the filter and just having English as the language, now 9,273 recipes can be a bit overwhelming. So now I'm just going to show you how you can actually use your filters to refine your search so that you can find something for dinner without being too overwhelmed with too many choices. Okay, so we have categories here. So you can ask yourself, what is it that I want to make? Is it afternoon tea? Is it dinner? Is it lunch? So that can help actually really reduce down your search. Now, ingredients. In this part here, I actually prefer to put ingredients that I don't want as opposed to ones that I do. So let's just say you had someone that was allergic to egg. So you can just type in minus eggs. And then in your ingredients here, it says without eggs. So then that has been removed from your search. You can also do tags. So Christmas is coming up. So if you wanted something Christmassy, you can select the Christmas tag. One of the other things that we might want to put into this tag section here is things like gluten-free. So different eating styles or things like that, you will find those that live in your tags. Difficulty, you can choose whether you want something super easy, medium or advanced. So if you don't have much time or you have all day, you can choose your level of difficulty. Preparation time and total time. So if you want a dinner done super quickly, you can choose, under half an hour total time. You don't have to select these filters, but if you do want to narrow your search down, you can do so by using each of these options. So if you want to select portion sizes especially, so I find the majority of the recipes on Cookidoo usually suit a family of about 4 people, but if you are outside of that and you want to look for numbers that are smaller or larger, you can select your portion size there for the recipes designed for those portions. Now the rating system. So the rating system is not 100% reliable. There's always new recipes that are added. So for example, we've just got a new collection added, which is 50 of the best recipes that have been around for the last 50 years. One of those recipes has just been translated into English and reintroduced, so it has no ratings, whereas if you actually look at the German ratings, it's in its thousands. So everyone's taste is a personal thing, so I wouldn't put too much value in the rating system. However, if you do find that a recipe has over 50 people have given it a 2, then I'd be a bit dubious about that one. So the Thermomix version, so if you have a TM6, you don't need to worry about this one. This one is really if you are a TM31 or a 5 owner, because both of those don't have access to the modes and the high heat that the 6 does. And the 31 actually has a smaller bowl size, so there are some recipes that are limited with the 31 smaller bowl. Then we just have our language and countries at the bottom. So we can reduce our search and help us to find what it is that we want to cook. Okay, so once you've worked out, you've got a rough idea of what you want to cook for dinner, in your search bar here, you can actually put the name of the dish in. So if I actually wanted to cook meatballs, for example, I can just pop in meatballs. And it's going to bring up a whole lot of different suggestions for me. Now there's a couple things that you need to keep in mind when you are looking up recipes. Okay, so if you see the TM6 here written in brackets, you mean it's a TM6 only recipe. So don't put it into your planner before just checking out that you either have the right machine or the right accessories that might go with it. Okay, so this one uses high temperature, but it also uses the blade cover. So if you don't have the blade cover, then what you'll need to do is actually choose the recipe, the meatballs with tomato sauce instead of meatballs in tomato sauce. And that one, once you've actually had a look down the recipe, you can see it doesn't involve the blade cover. Okay, and this one you can see at the top here is for the TM5 and the TM6. The reason that the 31 isn't included here is because it's over the maximum bowl size of the 31. Okay, so once you've had a look and you think, yes, okay, this recipe is good, you've had a look at the time frame, the portions, and you think, yep, okay, I want to plan that one and I want to add it. Okay, so you can add it to your shopping list right here, and let me walk you through how that works. Once it's been added, you can go down to your little icons across the bottom here, down to shopping. Now, what you need to do is deselect things that you don't need. So if you already have brown sugar, you don't need water, you just leave the items in here that you do need to purchase, okay? So then deselect the ones that you don't. You can also choose how this is laid out. So at the moment it's divided into categories, but if you want it actually divided into recipes, so the different things that you need for each recipe, you can change those views there. I prefer category so that you're not running around the shops in all the different aisles, and it sort of groups them all together in your aisles here. So once you've actually selected all the different things that you want for your week, these three little dots at the top here, you can share. So what you can do by share is that you can copy and paste, you can print, so you can copy paste it into your notes. So when I go shopping, there's a really dodgy Wi-Fi signal in there, so I can't actually access Cookidoo, so I actually put it in the notes on my phone for my shopping list if I'm going to the shops. If you're old school, you can print it out, or you can just email it to someone to bring the ingredients home. You can also press order ingredients, and that will take you through to the Woolies online platform. So you need to have your ingredients below 100 for that to go through, but once you're actually in the Woolies online platform, you can then add more ingredients if you need to. Or you can just clear your shopping list there as well, and you can start afresh and with the new recipes that you'd like to add. Okay, so once you've chosen your recipes, you can access your weekly planner down the bottom here. The recipes that you've put into collections or folders. So you can go into My Week, and there's all the items that you have planned out for your week. Remembering that those three little dots there, you can move them around or add them to your shopping list there as well. If you want to change your view, remember going backwards, you need to change it back to the calendar view so that you can go back and see the other items that you have planned previously. So once you have planned your items on here, if you have a TM5, you just need to sync it across to your cook key. Remembering that if you have a 5 and if you've chosen a TM6 only recipe, that will not sync across. Okay, so it might be a recipe that involves high heat, like our little stained glass biscuits here. So any recipes that have a little tag with TM6 above, they will not sync across to the TM5. If it's a TM6, it will automatically sync, or if you're a TM31 owner, you can actually use Cookidoo, but use it on your phone or your iPad, and you can just use them manually. So you can just enter in the manual instructions. So once you've found a recipe that you would like to cook, you can add it to a collection. So when you are making your own little folders, you can create a collection and you can call it whatever you want. So let's put this in afternoon tea. So I've now created a collection, named it afternoon tea, and that recipe has then been put into my recipes down here. So we can go into my recipes. Now this is all of them. So this is collections, the whole collection that we've saved, as well as individual recipes as well. You can define that down and you have created collections. So these are all the collections that I actually named myself. So there's our afternoon collection there, afternoon tea, or the collections that we've saved the whole collection to the account, they're all in saved. So we have created, saved, and everything all mixed in together. So that's just ways that you can now find and organize your recipes. Again, the three little dots, you can move it, plan it, or go in and cook today. So now I'm going to show you where to find your recipes on your TM6. You hit the three little lines at the top, and that will bring up your menu options. You have My Recipes at the top there. This is where you'll find your bookmarks, your created recipes. This ones will come with the Cookidoo 3.0 update, which will be out any minute. We also have created collections. These are the collections that you've named yourself and saved your own recipes into. And this is the whole collections that you've chosen to save. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and in the next video I'm going to show you about our created recipes once our Cookidoo 3.0 is released.